Hello there, and thank you for joining me. Today I'm sharing a speed build that I did for dating for Sims if you want to go somewhere to date. It is a small cafe, and it has a garden on the outside, which is facing inwards from the lot. Uh, I don't turn it. Okay. Um, so I created this lot because since I was forced to reinstall my game and I didn't have really any dating lots that I like to go to, other Sims kept inviting my Sim out for a date, but they kept taking them to the mall and then they would leave like instantly. And that was getting frustrating. I found it a little bit weird. So I decided to create this little space, and it's a cafe, somewhere your Sim can sit and have a chat and enjoy a nice cup of Joe. And I use a lot of the romantic gardens stuff. What do you call them? Like items to create this lot because I love that pack and I don't get to use it enough. I don't use it like at all, except for maybe once before where I did like a chapel build. And I did so for that one. I did the church on one side, much like this, the church on one side or the building on one side, and then on the outside, off beside the building, is like a garden. So this is meant to have that gardeny aspect. So your sim can go sit outside amongst the flowers. Hopefully they don't have allergies and they can enjoy some fresh air and just some one-on-one time with whomever they're dating or whoever they wanted to get to know or take out. I think it would be a pretty decent place to take your friends, but maybe not. That's not what I designed it for. um, so a lot of the exterior is what was I gonna say about the exterior? Most of the seating is on the outside of the building, and a lot of the garden stuff is on the inside. And so here I'm just fiddling around. I know I wanted the interior to be very small, or rather, I didn't want it to be super spacious or big. I found it unnecessary just because I put a lot of the seating outside, and I had a lot of that garden, those garden statues and those like stone seating, the benches outside, and they have like this really, I love it, this little like arch kind of thing where it's kind of what would you call it? I want to say it's kind of like a domey kind of a thing. I don't know what it's called, but you can like put a bench under there and it like has some shade, so it's like covering you, and you'll see it when I put it up. I love those things. I wish I had one myself. And so I decided to go with kind of a Roman theme, or kind of style with those pillars, which I wanted it to be very green and very gardeny, which is why for now they're really green. But I could have sworn that the wallpaper I used had like a kind of ruggedy, washed up or used like this wallpaper. I thought it had one that would match these pillars. I thought we did have one, like one that has like green mossy stuff on it, but I couldn't find it. And since I was trying to go for this specific aesthetic, um, I really wanted to use that wallpaper. Like it's my favorite stone wallpaper, and it matched great. Like the pillars have a color that matches really well. So that's why I used that specific little fence that I used from the bottom up, and I thought it went really well to just make that kind of like, because I'm not using a roof, right? So I thought it was a great outline to just give it that the effect of a roof that some places have. Um, so a lot of the floor is going to be garden, and I'm not really, I never put tile where there's grass. So this was really hard for me. This was a struggle because wherever there's grass, I just like to leave the grass wide open. But I'm learning how not to do that. I'm learning that I could, put some actual tiles or concrete across the floor and it's okay. I don't know why I have this problem, but I do every time I build. Like in the beginning when I was building, I would always like leave all the grass area open. So that's the little thing I was talking about. I don't know what it's called. You're gonna see I'm gonna put some benches over it. the little statue has that same kind of archy thing. Like, I'm not sure. And these portal things, walk areas or doorway things, I wasn't sure if because they had the grass or the plant falling over it, if at normal size it would have allowed Sims through. So I made it big. But I just thought of like a coliseum where it's like huge. Like some things are really just really big. So even though this is not a coliseum, I was like, I'm gonna make these huge just to fit the kind of idea that I had. So there I am placing in those statues. Um, so they're beige now. I believe I turned them white, but then I make them dark again because I wanted some contrast. And I'm just figuring out the outside before I go on the inside because even though I had a pretty clear idea of what I wanted to do on the inside, which was mostly just the area where you're gonna pick up your coffee, I wanted to use those boards on the walls, all those menu things that we got with Get to Work, because I never have a chance to use them in like normal houses, and I'm like, these are so cute, but I never get to use them. So that was another reason why I did this build. And so yeah, I forgot what I was saying before. So yeah, the concrete, I made the floorways to go through the garden so they can come from either way. Because even though I'm pretty sure towards the right is the actual entrance, I wanted Sims to be able to come in through any which way. The first time I built on this lot, I made a bakery, and I think I put it the wrong way. So when I went to, or I put like the entrance towards the left. So when I uploaded it or went to share it, it was like you couldn't actually see what was on the lot because there was a huge tree in the way. Which is why I didn't put a huge tree in this one. I just put those really skinny, the tall trees. I'm not sure if that fits with it, but I like the way it looks, so I left it. So I'm putting statues everywhere. I'm using the male and the female statue, and I'm just squeezing them in wherever I can. I wanted a lot of statues. I wanted a lot of stone. That's why I kind of used those. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with the table. But I used those like metal tables because I didn't want to use anything wooden or, you know. So I used the stone for well, I don't know, that's kind of like metal, I think, those tables. And also, I thought those came in black, but they're kind of green, and that's a little weird because the chairs are black. So I struggled with that as well when I was putting the chairs in. And this little corner, again, I like to like put everything in every available space. And you have that little area behind this wall behind that where the staircase is at. And the only reason why I have that wall is there was generally to separate the staircase, but eventually I put up a roof over it. So I just never bothered removing it. I guess I didn't really think too much about that part. Putting in some traits for the lot, definitely romance and social. I forgot what that one's called. But there's a third one open, and if you download it, I don't think I uploaded this actually, but it's available to add if I do put it up. I don't remember. So this was meant to go up for Valentine's Day, but I was recording something else that I had a little itch to do, and that was Ken's Secret Life. And they actually come here. And I was happy that the lot works because I don't really build that many lots. And I think once I built one and it was a little weird. Like it didn't work how I thought it would work. But I think I used items that are meant to be used when you're actually playing. So that might have been actually the problem. And here you can see I'm just changing the pillars, I believe, because I couldn't find that mossy wallpaper and I could have sworn we had one. So because I couldn't find it, I gave up. You won't see me searching through it. I cut all of that stuff out. Um, Anything that like takes too long in motion, I'll just trim it out of the footage. So, and then I changed this little fence here to match that kind of darker color that I gave to everything. Just for the contrast because it's all beige, but it can be beige, different tones of beige. So that's what I did basically. And then I am putting in those little trees because I have to fill in all the spaces and I felt it was a little bit bland on the back and I thought it could have looked better. So I think the trees really helped it um, do that. I think it gave it a like an accent or something. I don't know what you would call it. And I'm putting in some stones because I want you to be able the Sims to like go there and not worry about their shoes getting all muddy and gross. Especially if your Sim is like someone who likes to wear heels. And I'm just fiddling here again with the tables. Um, I keep thinking about restaurants when I do tables and how they manage to fit so many or so little depending on how they put the spacing. They usually squeeze in as much as possible. And I hate that because I feel very like when I'm in public, I don't like to be in public spaces where there are other people. I'm very nervous and I'm always so worried that I'm gonna like bump into something and someone's gonna be so angry and I'm just like ah. So I'm very conscious about that. And when I go into places, I'm just like try to be super careful, not to knock over anybody's whatever they may have on the table or to touch anyone. I live in New York, so I don't know. People can either be like whatever or they can be super sensitive and they will like catch a fit. So I'm always just a little nervous and like try to avoid bumping into anyone. But it's a crowded city, they need to get over it. But you'll be surprised how many people don't get over it. And in fact, I've been noticing that in myself. I'm just like, get out of my space. But it's like from people who are just like purposely like on top of you and you see like a huge space next to them and they're just like on top of you. It's just like annoying. Because I don't do that to people. And the way that I am is if I don't do something to you, then I expect for it not to be done to me back. But whatever. That's just life, I guess. And it's so annoying. Um, Working with the garden here. I'm not sure where those plants are from. Those little white ones. I think they came. I'm not sure if they came with garden or with the romantic garden stuff. I really can't remember. But I've never been able to use them, and I've had them for quite a while. And they're so pretty, but I just hadn't had an opportunity. And I made a conscious choice in this build to use a lot of things that I haven't used before. And I don't really do too well with like exteriors. And I really hate, and it's not that I hate it, it bothers me to have to use the move objects cheat because I feel like plants should overlap anyway. And they just don't. They're like, this is my space. So you have to kind of force them to like be on top of each other using the cheat. And I can't be bothered sometimes because then it deletes. It hasn't deleted yet, except that the little fence outside deleted, and that sucked because I was in gameplay and I was just like, where is this fence? And it's just I thought it looked weird, and then I realized the fence was gone. So that's probably why. Okay, so I watched Spartacus, and I'm not sure how accurate this is. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but I feel like their interior anyway, they have like all these open window things, and so I use them, and I've been wanting so badly to just do a build where you don't have normal windows. But all I can think of is you'd be so cold if this was true, depending on where you lived, I guess. But that's all I can think. Like even on the hottest night during the summer, I mean, if you have your window open or if there's a breeze, like you can really be cold and like, oh, trying to cover up and hide. So that's all I can think about when I put those up. And I know a lot of people they want realism in this game. I'm, you know, I'm pretty, I could go either way, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. But, because I want to share my creations, I would like to share things that people might want to use and things that people would like. So here's the bathroom. I was like, this little section up here is so weird. It's just, I have that side, and I wasn't sure about the transition from the roof from that side that it's occupied by seats to this like empty area. I didn't want to put more seats. Like no one even goes up there, which sucks. And I mean, they sit on the outside tables downstairs, but I haven't seen anyone go upstairs. So, um, yeah, I kind of figured and I knew that they wouldn't go upstairs, they wouldn't bother to. So I didn't want to put more tables. I did do another build, but everything was very tight and they were like forced to have, it was a restaurant. They were forced to bring the Sims upstairs. And it was one that I did in Newcrest because I was trying to build Newcrest in a very similar, not similar, very specific style. So I had to do all the buildings myself, and they were like really skinny and tall and long, like the roofs were pointy, kind of like I want to say that it was very similar to Windenburg, but more like I want to say Renaissance-y kind of, if that makes sense. So here's the bathrooms. I used these golden tiles because it kind of matched. Well, it matches more that little beige color that's throughout the entire thing. But yeah, I wanted to use those windows, and those are windows actually. They have the matching windows. They have them bigger too, if you want to use them on like taller walls. And I'm designed to do a build with just those windows and have like those open curtains, the big ones with the arch. And yeah, so I decided, this is somewhere that you're just gonna come for a few little while, like for a few hours maybe. So, get your coffee, either sitting outside or you're sitting inside, and either way the temperature is gonna be the same, no matter where you're sitting. So, and there I was trying to figure out maybe I could bring some of that garden from outside back into the cafe. But a lot of the objects I wanted to use were like super huge, and then I was like, I wasn't feeling it. So I decided against it and just adding some more cafe stuff. Because I think your sim actually uses those those items to actually make like cappuccinos and stuff. I don't think they do it from here, or at least I've never seen them do it from there. I did use those little wooden things to like divide the entrance and kind of keep that garden feeling flowing from the outside to the inside. So it's just basically like floral and stone everywhere. And I'm so disappointed that I wasn't able to find the matching moldy green wallpaper for the exterior. I really, really thought we had one. I need to get over it because I couldn't find it. I bet I'll find it when I'm not looking for it. So here goes all the signs that I wanted to use, and I wanted to use this. What is this? This little, those little fountainy things. I never used them. I never put them anywhere, and it's because I always come across them later, and so I forget and I don't plan to put them anywhere. But I was like, I'm putting this in here, and it could just be like, let's just pretend that it's like, oh, toss in a coin, get a wish. Even though I know we have a well for that, but I wasn't gonna use the well here. It it wasn't gonna fit. There's just no way. Um, so I did not put that here. I mean, maybe if I decided to remove the downstairs area where the tables were and squeeze it in there, but I didn't wanna. I didn't wanna. I didn't. This wasn't the kind of place for that. And that I can do something totally different and just focus and make that like the main item in the block. Just for storytelling, fairy tale. See, I was trying to put that there and I was just like, no, I don't like this. And like these kind of like boxy shapes, they stress me out because I don't know what to do. I feel like, how do I separate this without making just a roll of boxes everywhere and without making everything too tight and too small, too smally. So here I changed for the bigger ones, and I took out one of the little fountains. I just decided they can just be one, to be like a cute little novelty thing. People go there, they'll throw it in once or twice the first time they come. It's cute, whatever. It's definitely not something that someone's constantly coming here for coffee. They're not gonna constantly be throwing in, some coins. They'll just be like, oh, we're on a date, let's toss one in. Ha 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 ha, really cute kind of um behaviors, I guess. And then I was struggling because I didn't know if I wanted inside to be cozier or to just keep the stone like seating. But I decided at the end, in the end, to use regular couches. I wanted to use these because I thought, oh, that would be so cool if you just sit around chatting. And then I wanted to break it up to make it a little bit more private with something in the center. I would have loved to use those pillars, but they are massive. So I didn't use them at all. And then while I'm choosing the carpet, I'm just looking at it and I'm just changing my minds. And I haven't you had a chance to use those seats yet. I did put them in my Goth Manor renovation, and they're by the fireplace. They're very, very good to just like put around, but I didn't get to use them here. I wish I sort of did. I kind of regret not leaving them, but anyway, what can you do? And then I wanted to put these fireplaces in because I was like, they have these huge windows and they're just all open straight on the outside. And not that we have seasons yet, but whenever we do get seasons, I'm sure it's gonna be a problem. I think it'll be funny if like you have these windows and then snow just ends up all over the interior of your house. That'll be pretty funny. Um, so yeah, I use those couches. I love that combination color. I wish more of the furniture came like that with dual colors instead of singular colors, because some of them, a lot of those seatings, they have just same color pillows. So here are the screenshots. Thanks again for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this build. And I'll just talk to you next time. Bye.